So the ongoing paradox of the path, in terms of to be or not to be on the path, is a very profound one, very disturbing to some people. Some people actually believe they're off the path. And now we would have to judge, well, maybe that's a misperception. What is the path that you can be off of it? What is the spiritual path that you can be off? You can't be off the spiritual path, you'd be dead. And there's no being off the spiritual path. The spiritual path is the living path. The path of the living, and I don't mean flesh. Spiritual living. Yeah. That's the path. As long as you're breathing, you're on the spiritual path. This is the living path. The spiritual path is the path. It's not about what's going on with your neighbors and their churches. It's more direct than that. It's profound. You are the spiritual path. Because you are the living path, you are the breathing path. The breathing path is the spiritual path. There's no question on that. There's no argument about that. Look up the word spirit, you see breath. We're living that. Breath. And you find somewhere in there genius and inspiration. Spirit. Yeah. Or so we are. Without it, we may as well just not exist. Because you can't exist without it. There's nothing. It's everything. When we're talking about energy, relative to physicists, right, and that it's something you can transform, you can't destroy it, we're talking about something that's very close to spirit. Spirit is stronger than energy. See? It controls energy. See? So spirit is that which controls the energies of the universe. See? It can do that. So those who are in the spirit properly can control the energies of the universe. And we're not talking about militant domination, which is child's play, serious child's play. See? Playing the inferior god of destruction. And of course there's a need for that, so you have life because you have death. So we have destruction and we have creation. Right. Side by side. Paradox. See? Same with the path. Side by side, the path and the no path. But we're breathing beings, so there's no question about the path and being alive, or unconscious even. Because the living are unconscious some cases. You have people in a chromatic state who are still living. You don't know where they are and what they're doing, but you don't see them, so you think they're dead. Maybe the brain is dead, then maybe there's a case there. But haven't the brain dead come back on occasion, rare occasion? So who knows when the person is dying or where they are? Where they go, who knows for sure? See? Only the most spiritual amongst you can know that. See? Know where that spirit goes or where it is and what it's doing. So, and that's the nature of the path. See? It's to be knowing where you are.
Are there good and evil on the spiritual path?
Of course. Everybody knows that. Is there good and evil on earth? And the earth is not on the spiritual path? Of course. The obvious is you see around you already, that's the obvious. Take that for granted, that's already the case. That's already the norm. But is there more than that? Is there more than appearance? Yes, infinitely more.
Is it possible to reject the spiritual path?
No. You can say so. It's like saying you're not breathing. You can deny reality, but it doesn't change what it is. No one cares if you say you hate this, you hate that. No one cares about that. It's just yourself. See? Listening to itself. See? Assert itself. And create nothing but problems for itself. See? See? Denying reality is really to deny yourself. Reality. You're denying yourself reality.
So people who, let's say, choose evil in the hopes of getting away from
evil is an option. Well, it's not that it's better. It's good for some. I think it's a step on the path. Just as, good is a step on the path too. Good and evil, right? What are we talking about? The Garden of Eden, good and evil? Neither of them are better than the other, obviously. Because it's knowing of the knowledge of good and evil that's the downfall of man. I mean, that's according to one scripture. Yeah. So that tells you where good is, how good is. It's as good as evil. Evil's as good as good. So what are you talking about? What?
So how do we get beyond good and evil in our spiritual progress?
What makes you think that you're not beyond it?
I don't know.
Exactly. So why are you saying? How do we get beyond what we don't know? How do we get beyond the who knows? Yeah, thinking makes it so. Shakespeare said that. It's no good or evil, just thinking makes it so. Yeah, right, exactly. Everything is relative. Exactly. Good and evil, good or evil for who? Good for one, evil for another.
So good and evil are relatives within a spiritual that's absolute, would you say that?
Well, we don't know. Even that sounds relative. Yeah. Even the absolute is relative to what? Right, the relative to the relative, right? To the absolute, so on and so forth. Yeah, no, it's beyond that. It's called a no comment. Not quite taking the fifth, but no comment. Everybody knows what happens. You know, what's really going on when somebody's got to take the fifth.
How do the masters deal with good and evil?
They don't, in a sense. Of course, if we're talking about real masters, then they have to teach good to people who don't know any better, so that they become, let's say, responsible for themselves and the potential creation of goodness, good effects. Yeah. Peace is a good effect. Feeling of harmony is a good effect. Yeah. Productivity is a good effect. Being able to build for yourself is a good effect. Evil would be the destruction of all of that. Sometimes nature destroys, so we're not going to say that nature is just good. Nature's what nature is. Neither good nor bad in both at the same time. And that's the path. That is the path right there. That's the perfect characterization of the path.
So destruction is not necessarily evil, but potentially evil?
Right. Destruction is creation. Creation is destruction.
So that's a cycle?
It's not a cycle. It's just language. It's nothing. So but labeling at that level. Yeah. Yeah, it's labeling. Because you have to consider what the power is of the earth, the living earth, right? The goddess of the earth, the goddess of the living waters. You have to consider what that means. Look at her. Understand what she's capable of. And we know where we are and what we're capable of. Should there be any difference between the mother and our children? No. No. It's unthinkable. We are the mother. Always the mother.
Are we born into these conditions of good and evil?
Are you born at all?
Theoretically.
Theoretically? You mean actually you're not born?
I don't know.
You weren't born? Your mother didn't give birth to you? Actually?
Okay,
Theoretically
actually.
she gave birth to you?
Yeah,
Try and tell her that.
Okay.
She hit you with a piece of steak. Was that theoretical? Yeah. I think the question is what it is, you know. Not what it is to the thinking person, but what it is in the real. Yeah. And beyond thinking. Is it any less because it's beyond thinking? Is it any more because it's beyond thinking? Does it need to think because we think, we think? Does it need to think because we think? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And as the source of all that, then it doesn't need anything.
Are there paradoxes for a master the same way there are for others?
Paradox is a tool of the masters. Yeah. It's like a gate. It's in the Zen tradition, Zen koans and these traditions, and are designed to confound you simply to free you from your own mental patterns and your own self-imagery, your own self-neuroses. So they frustrate your thought processes so that you are forced to go deeper, because it's all that's next. is going deeper. That's all that's left, is going deeper.
And so paradoxes, let's say, reconciled or resolved at deeper levels?
Paradoxes don't exist. That's the beauty of it. They never existed. That's like saying, who knows? The paradox is really, who knows? Give up. That's what the paradox is. Give it up. Right? Yield. Paradox is move. Keep moving. Don't slow down to think about it. It's beyond that. You don't have time to think about it. Paradox. Let it go. Let the conflict go. Let the light go forth. Let the sound go forth. Let the vision go forth. Let the inspiration go forth. Let the creation go forth. Let the conflict against it. Let that go. Yeah.
So it's a matter of, let's say, acceptance.
It's beyond acceptance and rejection. We already covered that earlier. It's not you accepting it. It just is what it is, whether you accept it or not. It is what it is. It's going to do what it's going to do because it does it that way, despite you. It's not yours. It's not yours. I know that's painful. That's something that huge is not yours. But that's how it is. The universe is ours, but not ours, really. It's its own. It's the own universe. The joke's on us. The fear is on us. The ignorance is on us. The trick is on us. See, those of us who live in our little isolated delusions of self-importance. That's why it's always recommended by the ancients. Open to the spirit. See? The heart is the universe. The universe is the heart. Get with that. It's hard for people to comprehend that. What does that mean? You see 2 points. You think it's 2 points. There are no 2 points. The heart is the universe. The universe is the heart. There are no 2 points. There's 1 point, and that's it. That's the practice and the teaching and the wisdom all wrapped up in itself. Love always you.